Greetings EDU 500. This is the week 8 video, which means that we are getting very close to the end of our time together this summer. I don't have my math shirt on today, but I do have my Kutztown College of Education polo on, so a little bit of Kutztown pride. So to get you going with the last leg of the research proposal, first I wanted to congratulate all of you on an excellent draft of your your final section. The data analysis on the whole were really impressive. For a few of you, I gave some feedback on how to strengthen that. But really, the data analysis section is an essential feature to the proposal writing process, and you are all well on your way with very good data analysis sections in your proposal. So good work with that. I wanted to spend the rest of the time on the video here orienting you to what you need to do for the final draft, which is due about a week and a half now from my making of this video. So essentially, as I said last week, the primary thing in terms of the content for you to do is take to heart all of the feedback that I have given you and make sure that you have addressed those issues. Please let me know if there are any aspects that the feedback I've given you that is still not clear for you, and let me know soon so we can have I can have enough time to get back to you on that. So in terms of content, that's pretty clear, and of course use the feedback that you've received from your other peers in the class as well. I will not be looking to see if you've incorporated all of that feedback, but I would like you to consider integrating that feedback if you find it helpful. So a few other notes on what to do to get your final draft of your proposal to be as strong as possible, and what I'll be looking for. In terms of the writing, for sure, if I've given any of you feedback on grammatical and typo type issues, it's for all of you really, and especially those who I've given that feedback on, it's a really good idea to get some feedback from anyone really. It could be somebody that you live with, or a fellow teacher in your building if you have access to that over the summer. Have them do a read through to really make sure that everything is clean and makes sense. There are resources on campus, such as the Writing Center, which I think you would be able to get some help there. Let me know if that doesn't work for you, though. So there's that issue, and then the final thing to say in terms of getting a clean academic, scholarly publication in terms of your research proposal, you want to make sure that the document as a whole flows nicely and is organized. Sometimes this goes against what you've learned, especially if you have a literature background. So like I get feedback from literature people saying, oh, this isn't really the way I was taught to write. Because in some cases it will feel like you're writing with a bit more redundancy than you're used to. I actually uploaded 2 documents of my own writing. One is a recent article that I just had published. This is not a research on human subjects piece, but it does show you the way that I do academic writing in terms of organization. You really want to make sure that you're not leaving it sort of a mystery. Every section has an introduction. This is what I'm doing in this section. So at the very beginning of the paper, you'll say, this is what I'm doing in the paper. And then in each section, you'll have an introduction to what the section is doing. It can be just a few sentences, or it can be a full paragraph. And then you'll conclude each section with just a quick rehash of what you're doing. So that's where it might sometimes feel a little bit different kind of a writing style than some of you might be used to, and where it might feel like you are being a little bit redundant. And if you take a look at my work, you'll see how that works. So I've uploaded my paper that I just had published, and I also uploaded a chapter that's part of a book, but I don't need you to go buy the book, so I just uploaded that in Word format before it was published, the document that I had authored. So you can just take a look at that and see what the style is. You don't have to adopt my style exactly, of course, but you should see the idea of how you need to introduce and conclude each section. And in doing that, you want to make sure that you also transition from one section nicely. So, the very first sentence of a new section can say, now that I have explained the data resources, or the data sources for this project, I'm now going to expand on how I will be analyzing those, period. Okay, so that kind of a transition sentence so that it really flows nicely. And then after that sentence, you would say, in this section, I will describe the ways that the data is analyzed with qualitative and quantitative methods, something like that. So you'll want to look for transitions and make sure that your document flows nicely. You don't need to add a lot of content here, but just really look to see that it has a clean feel to it. So those are sort of the main things I'm looking for. Again, to recap, make sure that it reads clean and is free of typographical errors, and that you are writing with good sentence structure, no awkward word choices or awkward sentence structures, that you have transitions from one section to the other, and that you introduce and conclude each section. So that is, I hope that is clear, and please let me know what questions you have as you prepare your final research proposal draft. That will be due in about a week and a half, a week from this coming Saturday. So that is all for this video. I hope that was helpful as you prepare your final things, and in the final videos in the next coming weeks, I'll just be commenting more generally on research topics as they come up in the weekly assignments and concluding the course. Good luck with finishing your final drafts. As I've said, they're in really good shape at this point. I've made the comments on all of your sections, and I'm really excited about the projects that you're all conceiving of, and I hope that you're considering, some of you might be considering to actually enact this research. That's it for this week. Have a great one. Enjoy the hot weather, I guess, as much as you can, and be in touch with any questions or any ways that I can help. Thanks very much.